My application I'm putting in now, I'm done. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going on with this. Hey guys, now in this particular video, what I would like to do is to kind of offer some tips, I could say, regarding getting hired, landing interviews, especially geared towards a STEM perspective, say technology, design, software development, all that kind of jazz, as that's my sort of background, technology. As a lot of you already know, I've started the journey of SEKAI Recruitment, which is my online staffing agency, particularly for those in the field of technology, as I kind of listed earlier, software and the like. So, not long from now, I'm going to be hopefully wrapping up the business registration. I reside here in the UK, so companies are registered via Companies House. In Companies House, they organize and they manage all official companies that are registered in the United Kingdom. And that's going to be a fun endeavor. It's very cheap to register a company in this country. It used to be cheaper. I think it used to be like £12, but now it's gone up to 50. It does depend on the legal structure of your company. I think there might be some slight variations in terms of the price. And earlier today, I was working on my business plan. Stated the mission statement. I articulated the product, the service itself, and all the other things that you would typically find in a business plan. But without much further ado, I would like to kind of give you guys a little bit of an actionable sort of realm of, I don't want to say advice, I don't want to say tips, because I won't profess this to be official advice, but it's what's helped me. It's more my experience on what has helped me to land opportunities, get invited to offices without me even asking, land roles, contracts, 12-month contracts, junior internships, stuff like that. So, first thing, I'm going to check my notes, networking events. Now, this is kind of slept on, I think. I get the feeling it is. And I'm going to say it like this. The reason I say slept on is because networking events are sometimes approached in a very I want a job kind of way, right? I've been there. Pull up at a networking event for work, for where companies are in a place. It could be like a sports hall, community center, or something. Depends. It could be a university, and I have this demeanor of I want a job, right? And that couldn't work. But what has worked for me is this whole sense of this is who I am, this is what I do, and here's the value that I am looking to offer, right? When you have that kind of energy, that kind of vibe, it does certainly work in your favor. It's funny because there was this time where I went to a networking event. Very spontaneously, I just searched on Google networking events in London. I was living in London at the time. I found one in the Excel Centre in East London. Rocked up. I had a different enterprise. Everything was so fun. And anyway, I was just there, just kind of like looking around, talking to people. And then out of nowhere, this gentleman who worked at a company, a software, I think it was something related with cybersecurity. He's just said, hey, want to come to our office? Want to come see what we do? I was like, yeah, sure. And it was based in Holborn. I still remember to this day. So I think not too long from that particular event, I went to central London and went to this manager's office, and he showed me some of the software and he showed me some of the systems. It was really exciting stuff. It's not like he offered me a job or anything. He just wanted me, it's just networking. It's nothing more than just knowing people, talent, and just seeing what opportunities come about from that, experiences I had that I would like to share. My second one is persistence. It sounds very cliche, and I'm aware of this, but it's true. The last application that I sent off when I said if I don't get a role from my application I'm putting in now, I'm done. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not going on with this. I remember because I was sending applications after applications. This was for my industrial year placement after my second year at university, and I was looking for an engineering role, right? And I told myself, you know what? If this application I'm doing doesn't work, I'm not doing this. And I remember it was December, so you can imagine that I was advised by my employability officer at the time that we ought to get our internship placement applications done ASAP. And I was in December still with no traction, right? Despite the fact I was like sending in applications. I mean, I'm lying a little bit because I did get traction. I had some like first stage. I don't want to say interviews, but like technical tests, feedback and stuff like that. So things were happening, but then it was this idea of I'm gonna keep going despite what I see until I get the results that I want. And lo and behold, that application is what opened the doors for me to have my 12-month placement as a electronic engineer slash software developer in the field, which was pretty life changing for me if I do say so myself. Kind of paved the way to what I do today. And so finally, I would consider get in touch with a recruiter. I know, easy for me to say, right? But what I'm trying to say is that two heads are better than one. You do pair up with someone who's, should I say, full-time or part-time dedication, economically speaking, is to let you find a role that suits you, then it's only to your advantage. I used to do this thing, I remember, where I would get tons of emails from recruiters. It was a slightly different economic front at the time that we lived in. I would get all these different emails from recruiters offering me potential roles and positions. I used to just like, I had this attitude of I don't need to use a recruiter. I don't need to pair up with a recruiter. But in hindsight, it's not even the fact that it's not that those emails were saying I need help because without help I won't go far. No, it was an opportunity for me to really explore what professionals that have a backlog of clients, and for them, their clients are companies, what can they do to match me being a talent, an applicant in the field with a suitable role? It's a win for them. They get their commission, they build their portfolio, and it's win for me because I get a role. I get a salary. I'm adding to the field. I'm learning. I'm growing in my respective field. So I think it's very underrated. It's becoming less underrated now. People start to understand that working with recruiters is actually the way forward. I honestly think the dynamic is shifting, whereby the cold application approach is really phasing out. The new standard, the new de facto is recruiters, is leverage, right? So you really want whether you get, because we all get those emails, right, where we have recruiters reaching out to us. I'm not saying reply to all of them, but I'm just saying consider working with a recruiter. It definitely doesn't go amiss, especially if your recruiter has experience and vetted clientele. Then you're only winning. All you gotta do, and maybe I'll make a separate video about this. Let me know if you want to see it. All you really gotta do, I'm not saying talk the talk and walk the walk later. Well, I kind of am, but I'm saying be able to back up the talk in the sense that if you say you're a .NET developer and you can build WPF, UWP, Windows Form applications in your sleep, then make sure you can do that, because you might just get called out for it, where you have to try and do something on a technical test or something like that. What I'm saying is that be your best self, project that in your application to some degree, to some capacity. You want to be honest, but you want to be aware that you're being looked at in a certain way. So, it's kind of like going on a date. You want to be your best self, you want to be chill, you want to be a good vibe, but, you don't want to be too much, you don't want to say too much. Anyway, it's a funny example. So anyway, guys, DM me, get in touch with me. My LinkedIn will probably be somewhere. It's just my full name. I'm sure you already know. My LinkedIn, if you want to talk, if you want to chat about what you do, and if you want to learn a little bit more about SEKAI Recruitment, what we do at SEKAI Recruitment. Alright guys, so thanks for watching, and I bid you all a great job search, a great day at work, or whatever it is you are doing right now. Take care and God bless. Bye bye.